because it got dumped.
Oh shit, I need to go get my dinner.
I didn't get dumped.
Right, I'm gonna down this shit.
I was not the dumpy. I was never the dumpy.
No, you were mutual dumpies and dumpers.
That did not happen.
Wait, so are you and Josephine?
It did not happen. I did not hit her.
Oh no.
Wait.
I did not hit her. I did not.
Okay, I had no idea because she's still been talking to me about like some things, but I like never. You never came up in conversation, so I never wanted to like ask.
Oh yeah, now we're done. We're like,
Okay.
Half my conversation was was memes about how I was now her boyfriend.
Fantastic.
Nice.
But she's free
Because
now,
I'm
Nana.
tall
Go
and I'm
for
from
it.
Australia.
Fucking
That's
go
all
for it, dude.
took.
Yeah, no, it was just without wanting to go into all the details. It was just a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very
God damn it! I need to eat soon.
God damn it. Yeah, my dinner's also on.
Eat.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
Yo,
What are
we
you
got
eating, huh?
my boy Sneepy with that warm dinner.
It's a fucking Greg sausage roll.
Oh my god.
It's not even like from Greg.
I hate
it's the ones from
I
Iceland.
hate small little razors and incline.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Story time hype.
You're watching the Packless world.
Story time with
Are we good to go? Is there anybody else who like needs to be here for this?
I'll give him 3 seconds.
I mean, it's always gonna be documented.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be on my stream, so.
Yeah.
Nano
Someone
AUS
does need
said
to
you
highlight
have
this.
3 seconds for the fern story.
Put it on YouTube.
Go.
Nano AUS said 3. Nano AUS
I've got
said
one
2.
popcorn ready.
Nano AUS said
Shut the
1.
fuck up, Nano. Oh my
Nano
god.
AUS said alright go.
Alright, here we go. We're going. This is gonna be the first story. The whole thing. This is the first time I think people outside the Chillest Boys have ever heard the entire story. So it's there's a lot of shit to cover. This is gonna take a while. So if you thought this was gonna be like a quick little thing, if you need to go to the fucking bathroom,
It's
or some
2:30
shit.
a.m. I'm not going to bed.
I'm
Alright.
strapped in for a long ride.
Alright, here we go. So, first things first, you have to understand that the foundation of the Chillest Boys relationship was that, have any of you guys seen The Big Lebowski?
No.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
reference, I don't know.
so there's this character in The Big Lebowski named Donnie, and, basically he's like the whipping boy of the entire, like, it's Jeff Bridges, it's, the other fat dude, I forget his name, and then it's Steve Buscemi, and Steve Buscemi is John Goodman, that's his name. It's Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, and Steve Buscemi. And Steve Buscemi plays like this fucking little bitch boy named Donnie. And anytime Donnie says or does anything, everybody just goes, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie." And that's
like how my relationship with Sneepy, basically.
that was literally Fern throughout 90% of his relationships with the Chillest Boys. I think probably the only person who was consistent, or the only 2 people who were consistently on like really good terms with Fern throughout his time in the Chillest Boys were Sippy and Clippy. And Sippy Sippy is known Fern for years, and so the 2 of them had I don't know, they at least knew each other like pretty well. And then Clippy was always just like really nice and like would be the kind of person who would be like, yeah, he's literally the most wholesome person. Like he would be the kind of person to be like, oh, well, like, yo guys, Fern isn't that bad. Come on, like.
Yeah, honestly, I've never seen anything negative come out of Clippy.
Yeah, he's just a really nice dude. And so basically, for some reason, and I still don't know why, despite like 80% of interactions on Chillest Boys telling Fern to shut the fuck up, he still somehow became the Chillest Boys sugar daddy, where anytime anybody needed any sort of thing, like Fern would just buy it. And like, we have no idea why, we have no idea where he was getting all this money from. Like apparently he just like didn't really give a shit how he spent the money he made at work or something like that. Because he would just be like, oh, well, yeah, like, you know, I don't need this money. Like, oh, sure, I'll just buy Nuka a PS3. Like, who cares? And so there was this long-standing history of Fern just buying shit for people, and Lord knows why. But, like, he just did. Like, he bought multiple people Payday 2. He bought Nuka PS3. He bought me Overwatch, and I literally didn't even ask him to do it. He was just like, oh yeah, dude, here's Overwatch. I was like, I didn't, like, don't buy this for me. Like, I don't want this.
I want to be this guy's friend. Fuck you.
He like, when I first got partner, he farmed like 10,000 free ad bits and just gave them to me. And I was just like, all right, cool, I guess. Like, that was just, he just did that, like, over and over. And, I don't know, things basically started escalating around the time that Fern and Sippy started this whole back at the barnyard meme. Like, the two of them wanted to, like, every now and then there was a meme game that infiltrated the Chillest Boys. And somehow, in some capacity, it was back at the barnyard one time. And somehow back at the barnyard is, like, the turning point. I don't know what it was about Otis and his thick ass, but, like, something... like, there's just something about it that, like, really brought all this shit together. And, like, around the time, I was, sort of, like... I had a thing with this girl from Australia named, fuck, what was her name? Asianica.
Yeah, I know Asu.
And she had like a whole friend circle with this one streamer named Phantasma. And like, and basically like there's this whole community, and somehow Fern got into the community around the same time as the back of the barnyard shit was going on. And things were like fine for a little bit, and then Fern started like really feeling himself. Like he was the dude at the fucking school prom who's just like rubbing himself through his pants because he thinks that nobody can see him do it or some shit like that. He starts like he's like memeing all over the place. He's like saying really rude and abrasive shit to all these people, and people aren't sure whether or not he's joking. Like, he's clearly trying to joke, but he's so bad at, like, expressing that he's being ironic that people don't understand that he's joking, and he just comes off as a dick. And so eventually people are like, yo, Fern, you're kind of being a little bit of a dick. And then he was like, oh yeah, well fuck you, and like he just went full tilt, like, fuck everybody in there, like, I fucking hate all of you, you're all pieces of shit. And then he just left that community, and we were all just like, okay. And still, somehow in the Chillest Boys, like, everything is like, alright. But tensions are mounting because, Thorpe has just recently outed himself as an alt-right piece of shit. And so now, and actually, it's kind of funny, him and Fern are the ones getting into arguments, where Fern morally is saying these things that are, like, as a good person, true, but he keeps saying them in ways, like, he'll just be like, instead of just being like, no, dude, racism is a thing, and, like, you just don't understand because, what, like blah, 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 like, whatever. He's just like, no, you fucking retard, you're a piece of shit, you don't understand anything about racism, you're a fucking dumbass. Like, and then Zorb will just be like, okay. and so, like, Fern is literally the definition of somebody who's right for the wrong reasons, but he just doesn't understand this, and no matter how hard we try to explain this to him, he just tells us that we're, like, being bad, awful people by, like, agreeing with Zorb, and we were just like, oh my god, like, holy shit, calm down, Fern. And, so this is, like, all happening in the span of, like, a few months. And anytime anybody would ever have an argument with Fern, somehow Sippy would always have to be the arbiter. Like, Sippy, I jokingly refer to Sippy in my notes as the Fern apologist.
Fern apologist.
Because anytime there would ever be any shit with Fern, Sippy would have to sit people down with Fern and be like, alright guys, we need to work through this fucking shit, okay? and then we'd be like, Sippy, like, he's just fucking being an idiot, and he's like, well, yeah, but you did it. And, like, I think one of the biggest, actually, before the whole Zorb thing, actually, now that I'm remembering, Fern and Ricky got into some real big shit. Where, like, basically, like, you guys know how Ricky is. He has a very low tolerance for people that he thinks are stupid. And boy, did Ricky think Fern was stupid. And it was just constant bickering between the two of them because Fern would just say something that like in like half jest that was just really stupid, and then Ricky would be like, Fern, you're fucking retarded, and then like it would just escalate into this gigantic thing where Ricky didn't really have to go out of his way to call Fern an idiot. Like we all kind of understood what the law of the land was, but like Ricky was just, he was Ricky, you know, like he just did his thing because that's what he felt like he had to do. And that was the biggest thing, was that for a long time, I think both of them ended up leaving the Chillis Boys at one point or another because of all the arguing. Actually, I think Ricky left for a different reason, but the Fern shit was like a part of it. So that whole business is happening, and then the tensions with Zorp are mounting. Tensions with Fern and Zorp are mounting. Tensions with me and Zorp are mounting because, like, basically as the two most politically involved people in the Chillis Boys, Zorp and I got into like, quote-unquote debates all the time, when really it would just be like me trying to explain to Zorp why you can't just say that it wasn't that bad that she was unconscious when she got raped. Because that's not a thing that normal people say. So that was a whole business. And let me see, where's my next segue here? Oh, okay.
I like
Things got real bad on September 21st. Now, September 21st, and this is where I actually have a visual aid. So when it comes time, I'll present that to you guys. Basically, on September 21st, now you have to understand, it turned from Sippy being a Fern apologist into me actually taking Fern's side more often than not, because I understood that he was trying to be a good person, although he didn't really have the social skills to really present that. Now, one day, Fern and I, or Zorp and I are getting into an argument, and I'm at work, as per the usual. And somehow Fern just gets really heated in all of this. And I have to be like, Fern, like, just stop. Like, you're not helping the conversation at all. Like, you just need to stop. You need to just let this happen the way it's gonna happen. And then fucking Fern just turns on me. He turns on me so fucking hard, so fucking fast. He calls me, like, he basically just he tries to do his best to tell me every single thing that he hates about me. And, like, he starts making up shit, and, like, he starts saying that, like, I, like, posted a picture of one of my students in the Chillis Boys just because I thought it was, like, a funny picture. And then he started calling me, like, a fucking creepy pedophile for posting pics of children that I work with. Like, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you absolutely fucking kidding me? And, like, he just starts going at it, and I'm just like, alright, Fern, like, I've told you to stop enough times. Like, does anybody have any problems with me kicking him from the Chillis Boys right now? And everybody was just like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, go ahead and do it, I don't give a shit. And so that was the day, hold on, let me find this. That was the day, September 21st, the day that I shot Fern.
The day of reckoning.
And if you'll check the general chat, you'll see the visual aid.
I'm gonna have to look at that later.
And it was especially hysterical because the whole day Fern had been
I've seen that image somewhere, and I don't remember what it was.
Fern had just been like, oh my god, guys, it's September 21st, like, I fucking love that Earth, Wind, and Fire song, and he was, like, singing it in the voice chat, like, the whole fucking day. And so, like, this whole fucking shit just escalated to me shooting Fern. And so then eventually, like, every now and then, we'll recount the tales of all the different iterations of the Chillis Boys. And the link between every iteration is that every single group was founded as a way to keep Fern out. Like, and yet somehow he finds a way back in every single time. And lo and behold, just like every other time, even though, like, all this shit was terrible, me and him find some sort of conflict resolution, and he's back in the Chillis Boys. Somehow, by some miracle. And, like, by
still up to date though.
This is no. This is all just like, this is still giving backstory. We're not even at the final one.
All right.
This is all still backstory. And so the next Fern episode is the relay. Now, if you guys remember, December 3rd was the relay. We had been planning a bunch of shit since like late September, early October, and eventually a few people bailed. Like for reasons, like they said it was for personal reasons. I don't really buy it. Like they gave me like those kinds of excuses that you give your teacher when you just really didn't want to do your homework. You're like, oh, well, you know, like my grandparents were sick or some shit like that. Like, eventually at some point you cite like family issues as a reason why you don't want to do something. At least that's just me, because I'm a bullshit extraordinaire. So I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Yeah, I was pretty good at that in school. Oh, is it that book? Oh my god, I thought it was the other book. Nah, I haven't done it in that, but I left that one at home, sorry.
Yeah, like, well, in my case, I actually, one time, this is a random segue, but just to give you guys an example of where I'm coming from here. My proudest achievement in undergrad was getting out of writing my final thesis paper by saying that the subject matter reminded me too much of my dying grandpa.
Alright, I know what strat I'm pulling.
That's a dick. That's a kind of a dick move. Okay.
Dude, I just did not want to
What was the
that.
subject matter, though? What was the subject matter?
It was
Something to do with the war or something.
No, basically, I wanted to write a piece about klezmer music, which is music with Jewish influence. And to my own credibility, my grandpa was dying at the time. It just wasn't as bad as I made it sound. So, let me tell you guys, I've done some skeevy shit to get out of school assignments. Like, but point being, so that's why, like, I'm pretty in tune with bullshit, because, like, I've basically done every... Yeah, I've literally
bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah, exactly.
My fucking teacher said that to one of his pupils once, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I'd never heard a teacher swear before, and he was like, don't bullshit a bullshitter, Kyle. And I was like, what the fuck?
But yeah, that's just to give you guys the idea of how in tune with people's bullshit I intend to be. Because, like, I've done all of it. So, like, again, like, maybe there actually was personal reasons behind it, and I'm just, like, a bit of a cynical dick, but I didn't buy it. Either way, I wasn't going to call them out on it, because that's the real dick move. Like, being like, no, you're bullshitting, and then they'll be like, no, my grandpa is dying, and here is photo evidence.
yeah, like, you don't want to get called out, and then you look so terrible.
Exactly, so I was just like, fine, alright, whatever. And so I needed people as replacements for certain categories, and some people, like, really stepped up to the plate, and I was so appreciative of it. That was actually why, like, if you guys remember, if you were, like, some of you, I think Tab, I don't think you were even a part of the community back then.
No, he wasn't.
But most of you would probably remember how there was such, like, a lopsided discrepancy between, Sharf and Tarna in Tools of Destruction, and Toto and Hobbs in Ouya All-Titanium Bolts. And that's because Tarna and Hobbs were both replacements because it was supposed to be, I think, like, either Rabbit or Pat on Tools of Destruction, and fucking the other one was gonna, or somebody else was gonna be on, oh no, it was Fern! Fern dropped out of Into the Nexus at the last minute, and so IN had to take his spot, meaning that Hobbs had to take IN's spot in all Titanium Bolts. And it was just like, and Fern had been, like, hyping up his return to speedrunning so hard. He was like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna finally get good at Into the Nexus, I'm gonna finally get, like, a 25 or some shit like I've always wanted, like I always said I was gonna get. And he practiced for all of a week, and then he was just like, I don't really feel like it, like, whatever, I'm not gonna be in the relay. And I was just like, Fern, are you fucking kidding me?
Fern is going.
Oh, hey, Ricky.
Yo, Ricky. Hey, Ricky.
Just talking about you.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking, I'm explaining everything right now. Like, I've already gone through most of this shit, but if you have anything that you want to add on your end, you're more than welcome to. So he drops out of the relay, and everybody, like, I'm so fucking mad because, like, I'm already faced with, like, a bunch of other people dropping out, and I'm trying to, like, scramble to get things organized, and fucking Fern dropping out at the last minute, I was just like, but thankfully, fucking IN and Hobbs and all those other people, and Tarna, they all pulled, like, they fucking carried their weight, and I was, like, so happy that they did. But that was, like, basically, tensions were at an all-time high after that, because, like, I tend to have, like, I was one of the people who had the most patience for Fern. Like, not everybody, like, and that's not saying much, because I don't think many people had any patience for Fern, but I had, like, some. Like, I had enough to, like, not consider, like, to not treat him like a piece of shit. But, like, I don't know. Point being, I was just like, at this point, Fern was testing my patience. I was just fed up with him. Like, we had gotten past the whole September 21st shit, and I was willing to let it go and move on. And then he does this, and I'm just like, so then, oh my god, after the relay, and again, this is still just backstory. This is still just like how Fern ended up making an enemy out of every single Chillis boy. So he already is on terrible terms with Ricky, Nuka sometimes, fucking Zorp obviously, but at this point Zorp's been long since kicked out because he just stopped being our friend more than anything. And let me see, there were a few other people who like just were fed up with Fern, but like just kind of dealt with it for the most part. Like even Sippy,
definitely Sippy, yeah.
Yeah, even especially Sippy, he's just like Ricky. I don't know how much of this you've heard, but I jokingly referred to Sippy as the Fern apologist. Where like anytime Fern did anything stupid, Sippy would always be the person who's like, "All right, guys, come on, just like leave him be. Like, we gotta like work this shit out."
Yeah, I have a small story as well about him afterwards.
Yeah, dude. Oh, absolutely. Like the more the merrier. And even at this point, Sippy was just like, "Dude, I can't fucking handle this anymore." And then AGDQ rolls around, and Fern had been like hyping up going to a GDQ for so fucking long. Every single time there was a big GDQ like meetup or some shit like that, he'd be like, "Yo guys, I'm gonna go and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna hang out with all of you." And like 3 times in a row, he never ended up going. And so when he said he was coming to AGDQ, we were just like, "All right, Fern, you're coming to AGDQ." But then he actually showed up, and we were like, "What the fuck?" And he just proceeds to be the weirdest fucking person all week. Like, and to his credit, Clippy showed up as well, and Clippy had like a bit of a hard time because it was his first time in America. He wasn't 100% confident in like socializing with people in English, and like Fern was a really, really good friend to Clippy that whole week, and that was really, really nice of him, and like, to his credit, I will give him that. But, like, the rest of the week, it just felt like he was going out of his way to just, like, piss us off. Like, the entire, like, he would just constantly do stupid shit, and we had no idea why. Like, he would try to, like, pick fights with me at random and, like, just start shit with me specifically me the whole week. And I was just like, Fern, what the fuck? Like, everybody else is, like, very aware of it, too. They're all just like, I don't know why the fuck this is happening. And, like, I just remember, the one thing that still haunts my dreams every now and then was that at AGDQ, we all went to, like, a Target or, like, some sort of convenience store one time, and we all bought, like, snacks and shit because we didn't want to spend a fuck ton of money on fast food. Yeah, and, like, fucking Fern just buys a, like, 200 pack of Dum Dum lollipops. That's, like, the only thing he buys. And not only is that all he eats, but he doesn't eat them the way a normal human being eats Dum Dum lollipops. When you eat a lollipop, you're supposed to fucking lick that shit until it gets to the point where you can like bite down, just like finish it, right? Fern fucking takes the Dum Dum lollipop and just bites it in half from the very beginning. And not only does he do this, and it like freaks all of us out, he does this several times in one sitting. He'll just like grab 8 Dum Dum lollipops and he'll just start biting down every one of them.
I'm not gonna lie that biting through lollipops is fun, but 8 is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and at this point he's just doing it to fucking freak us out. Like, we're just like, stop it, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, what, dude, it's fun. And then like, after day 3 of doing this non-stop, he was just like, oh, dude, like, my teeth really hurt.
Oh, wow.
Fucking why?
Yeah, exactly. We're just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no wonder your teeth fucking hurt, you idiot. But he's just like, oh nah, dude, like it's fine, like, and then he just keeps doing it, and we're like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, dude. It was just fucking weird the whole damn week. Like that was just like a sample of all the crazy shit that he done. But like, of course, like he's a ratchet runner, so like we're not just gonna be like, no, dude, don't hang out with us. You're like fucking weird. Of course, we're gonna like still do shit with him, and like the whole week it was like. I don't know, we tried to be like super chummy with him, but he would always like find ways to like try to start shit. I don't even know. And that was a particularly weird week because that was the catalyst as to why Clippy left the Chillest Boys as well. I don't know how many of you guys knew that, but Clippy left because
he left a while ago.
Yeah, he left basically right after SGDQ or AGDQ because like he just had a really bad time with us. Like I think a big part of it was that he didn't really understand how weed worked, and like in his defense, he didn't want to be anywhere around it, and that's totally fine. Like we never pressured him to do anything, like because we had like a whole bunch of weed cookies, and
oh fuck that shit, man. That gets you so destroyed.
Yeah, dude, and like I
can imagine why he wouldn't want to be around a bunch of stoners like that.
And well, especially because like he's in the military, and if you do drugs, like they'll drug test you pretty regularly if they suspect anything. Especially like after vacations, like it's totally common practice to like drug test people. And he didn't want to do anything, and we were like totally fine with that. We're like, oh my god, dude, like absolutely, like you're in the fucking military, like there's no reason for you to do any of this shit. And like we were totally understanding, but he didn't understand that the only way that you test positive on a drug test is by actually doing the drug.
Yeah, he thought he could get contact and it would show up.
Yeah, and like he didn't understand that like whenever we did cookies, like he just didn't even want to be anywhere near us at all. And we were like, well, no, dude, like you're not gonna test positive.
If you were like, I could understand this if you were like smoking around him, because like you can actually get contact off that. I don't know if it'd show up in a test, but like if you were just eating cookies, then there's like literally no way.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. We had to like sit him down and be like, no, Clippy, like there's no possible way. And like even Lunk, like if you guys know Lunk, he's like a super patient dude, and he like articulates things very well. And he tried to be like, yeah, like Clippy, there's like no way that this will show up, and like you're totally fine. Like you don't have to go into a separate. Like he would leave the room whenever we did this, and we just felt so bad about it. But at the same time, like we came to AGDQ to have fun, and so like we weren't gonna stop. We were just so we just felt really guilty the whole week, and like I don't know, it was just a very strange week, and with Clippy like also not being able to articulate everything that he's feeling in English like 100% well. Like, it just created this gigantic elephant in the room, and I don't think Clippy was ever able to, like, overcome that, and so that's, like, one of the biggest reasons why he left. But even, like, the whole week, and like I said, Fern was a great friend to Clippy the whole time, and he took his side in a lot of this, and he hung out with Clippy whenever we were doing weed and shit like that. But it also, that being said, Clippy can fucking drink like a motherfucker. Like, that dude can put down alcohol. Like, holy shit. But yeah, so that was like...
Why, but that shit pisses me off to no end. When people, like, down alcohol like it's no one's business, but can't handle weed.
Yeah, dude, it was so fucking weird. Like, I don't know.
That's kind of me, to be honest. I can drink, like...
Understandable.
I can drink, like, a hell of a lot. I have a very low tolerance for weed.
I fucking hate alcohol, but I'll smoke any day. I'm the complete opposite.
No, I get what's...
No, I don't mind smoking weed. It's like
propaganda.
I like it, but I have a low tolerance for it. Like I can get very, very stoned very quickly.
Oh yeah, I get fucked up real fast.
I have a very high tolerance considering I don't do it very often.
Yeah, I remember you would tell me that like you had tried it with like a few people and like absolutely like nothing happened to you. I was like, what, really? Like that's wild.
Yeah.
But
when my friend, well, actually, you finish.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead, because I'm about to finish up the whole Fern thing.
No, well, I was gonna, I'll just say this and then I'll say the Fern thing. I'm about to go to bed pretty soon, but what was it? Oh yeah, I was gonna say when my friends first tried to get me into it, they were all like they were all fucking, like you know when you're at like a place and then they all like get you to do this one thing and they're all like slamming the tip like do it, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That's how it felt when they got me to smoke weed for the first time. So I took like a, you know, I inhaled a lot, and then I coughed like a shit ton, and then they were like, oh shit, dude, he went too ham, and then they're like, no, yeah, like they have like their big eyes, they're like, so what do you think? And I'm just there like, nothing's happening. What?
Yeah. That's so like.
Try again.
So like I remember like the first time I had like a bong hit. Like they're like way more potent than just like smoking like we usually just smoke joints. And they're like way more potent. I didn't really know. So like I had like a huge like 3 or 4 huge hits of this thing. And then like I had easily like the worst time of my entire life. I was just fucking like spacing out on the couch, like everything just kept twisting. I can't describe how aggressively high I was. Like everything like kept twisting to the left, and then just when I thought it stopped, it like twist back to the right.
You did all that while doing PDA, like 20 PDA sides.
Yeah.
Fucking on you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of good at them. But yeah, carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Alright, so about Fern.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
so,
you tell your story.
well, it's not really a big story, but there's always this common occurrence that we have this thing about Fern where, like, we always, so, I'm pretty sure Zem has explained to you that Fern was kind of like, because, like, half the Chill's boys are fucking broke, so, like, Fern would always buy games for people, like, Nuka would always be like, Nuka would always be like, hey, Fern, buy me this, and then he's like, oh, I hate you guys, and then he'd just do it anyway. He'd fucking say that all the time, and he'd buy it anyway. So Fern got us to buy like Quake Live and like not God of War, fucking Modern Warfare. That's what it was, Modern Warfare 2. So when we were playing Quake Live, because like we were playing like 2v2s, it was so fun when it was me, Nuka, Sippy, and Skrit. That was really fun. Because like we swapped teams around and it'd be fairly even most of the time. And then when we swapped Skrit out for Fern, one of the days when Skrit couldn't show up, it was like the worst experience ever. Cause like, I'm fairly experienced at Quake Live, so I'd have to team with Fern every time because you team you team number 1 with number 4 and 2 with 3 to make it the most fair. So Fern was literally fucking dead weight the whole time, and I was messaging like Sippy the whole way through. I was just like, I was fucking going apeshit. I was like, I do not think Fern knows what quad damage is. That's a basic game mechanic, and I was just like, he just doesn't know like, anything. So he's like, it's just a common occurrence that Fern is literally dead weight every time we fucking play games. It's like, oh, if you're with Fern, you're gonna lose. Like, instead of fighting people in Quake or bunny hopping or anything, he would walk everywhere and he would run from every fight possible, just like a coward. Like he would run away and he would scream like a fucking baby. Like that's what he fucking do every single time. Like Sippy was chasing him with a lightning gun, he'd just run away. He wouldn't even try and fight. He'd just scream like a fucking baby.
That's funny as fuck. Oh, and yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention is that any time Fern ever did anything stupid and pissed a bunch of us off, his catchphrase, it became a catchphrase. It was literally, he would always say, I literally did nothing wrong. Every single time. Anytime he would ever get into an argument with Slurp or with me or like any of this other shit, he'd be like, dude, I don't even know why the fuck this is happening. I literally did nothing wrong. Like he just had,
That's the same as Almond.
There's a first.
Yeah.
Fair for you.
That is the
I
same
did
as
nothing
Almond.
wrong.
There's my favorite quote of his is, "Oh my god, I hate you guys." That's the best one. Like, it's like it's like every time when he like be somewhat mean to him, he'd be like, "Oh my god, I hate you guys." Like that's what he'd say all the time in that exact voice, in that exact way.
yeah, dude. He at some point he said those two catchphrases at least 5 times a week. Like, because he just did so much shit that we just got pissed at him for. And so to really bring this all home and give you guys the final story as to why he is gone and is not coming back. At one point, and I forget what the catalyst was for all this. I forget exactly why it happened.
Oh,
but
no, I think I remember the majority of it. You were at a rehearsal, and then he made a comment about the thing.
Which thing?
Don't you remember when you were tutoring something? And then
Oh, I gave him that story, the one where I shot him.
oh, okay.
But then this was after AGDQ, where he like left for the final time. I don't know if you might have not been in at that time. I think you might have been taking a break from the Chillis Boys. But I could be wrong on that though. But what happened was, and I think I kind of stumbled into this halfway through, so I missed the whole first part of it. But somehow Fern got into one of his patented arguments with Lord knows who, because at this point everybody's just fucking fed up with Fern. And so he's like fucking arguing, and then he just loses it. He starts singling out every single person and starts saying everything that they hate about everybody. And then like he starts saying that like all these people we're fucking awful people. We use him and like all he does is buy us games and shit like that, and then like we never thank him for it, which is not true by the way. Anytime he got anything for that, so people would always be thankful, except for like Nuka. For some reason, Nuka never thanked him for anything. And I don't really know why.
and he doesn't hate Nuka. That's the funny part.
And like
he's like fuck you guys, and Nuka's my homie, even though Nuka just doesn't give a shit about it.
Yeah, like Nuka, he was even like Nuka. I bought you a PS3, and then Nuka was like, yeah, thanks for that, by the way. And, like he just really yeah, thanks for that. And then, like fuck all you guys. And, like you all like fucking you would never do shit for me, and like I'm out, dude. I'm fucking out. And then he just left, and like it was as if a fucking bomb went off, and when the smoke settled, we were all just confused and had no idea what was happening, because really, like from the way that script described it to me, literally the only thing that happened was like they were ribbing on Fern like they normally always do, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he just went fucking ballistic, and none of us have talked to him since. Like, the only person I think he's talked to in the Chillis Boys since he left was, like, Damon a couple of times.
Wait,
and
so
then,
when was this compared to when there was that massive argument over the new Ratchet Discord? Because that was my introduction to him. My introduction was after being there for a week, passing stuff, and he's like, who are you, Nano? Have you even done anything? And he's like, with your fake tats shit, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, dude, that was I think that was
Fern say that?
I have a screenshot.
He was just going shit on everybody. He was like calling out all the mods for not doing it. Like, he kept trying to stir shit. And anytime, like, I was actually so proud of all this, because anytime there was like some sort of disagreement about the way that things should go, like we would have like this very civil discussion, and we would be like, all right, well, like we don't all 100% agree on this, but like at least let's move forward with this and this thing, and then we'll work on these things later when we have these things established. And everybody would be like, all right, cool, that makes total sense to me. And then Fern would come dick out, guns blazing, and he'd just be like, wait a minute, what the fuck, what's going on with all this shit? And like, it's shit that we literally discussed an hour ago that he just chose not to read. And he was just like, well, what about this shit? And you guys aren't doing anything about these things. And everybody would just be like, Fern, discussed all of this. We're taking care of it. And he'd just be like, no, that's not good enough. You guys have to do all this and this and this. And if not, like, all you mods are lazy and you're terrible people. And fuck all you other guys in the community. You're all a bunch of fucking, like, losers and children. And, like, you guys don't know shit about anything. And at that point, me and Sippy and Scrit, because there were no other mods at the time. It was just the three of us. Yeah. And we were just like, all in favor of kicking Fern, and everyone was just like, aye. And then we just kicked him right there from the Ratchet Discord. And
when that happened, I was like in bed, so I was like, who the fuck is this fucker? And then I just went to sleep, and then he was gone. I'm like, what the hell?
Did you guys hear about Fern? Did you guys hear about the Fern's grandma hacking thing?
Oh my god, I didn't tell them about that.
Okay. Well, feel free. It's pretty short, and like all I need to send them is the GIF.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's better seen than explained. But like the big thing about like one time, fucking Fern's grandma was at the house when he was in VC, and like
I already love this story.
His grandma would walk around in like these loud as fuck flip flops for some reason, and so all you'd hear is just like. You just hear like thwack, 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 thwack anytime she'd walk around. And we'd be like, Fern, what the fuck is going on? He's like, that's my abuelita, and he's like, she's just walking around with her chancletas. And then Sippy was just like, Fern, are you thunder smacking your grandma? And for anybody in the crowd who doesn't know what thunder smacking is, that's the sound that happens when you're doing a girl from behind and your balls smack against her thighs.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So literally, we it became a meme that we all just wanted to fuck Fern's grandma.
Oh my.
That thick bitch.
Oh Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Fine, I'm in.
Let me see if I can. I think it's a YouTube video, right?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, you found it.
Yeah, so Skrit, in regards to this, Skrit made a video.
Alright,
that I successfully hacked Virginia. I'm just gonna I'll go watch it, please. Just go watch it.
I'm just finishing up a run. It was actually a good pace until I choke filled in for like 2 minutes.
That pan. Not the pan, the zoom.
I'm in.
I'm in.
It's amazing. Oh, I don't have the audio shit.
And Fern did not take kindly to this at all.
Did you hear that when we first made the Anti-Chillers Boys Discord, Fern joined it?
Dude, that doesn't surprise me. Somehow Fern finds a way to join literally every group that he has absolutely no business being in. It's amazing that like he can fucking say so much shit about people and then people still just invite him places.
Oh, this is dumb.
So, in a nutshell, the reason why Fern is never coming back is because we all bullied him so hard that he hates every single one of us now.
I hate you guys.
That sounded a bit like Vern.
Yeah, dude, that sounded so much like Vern. I started getting PTSD flashbacks.
PTSD.
What if I am Fern?
Oh my
But
god.
it's just like, it's amazing to me that like, and obviously we all have moments, like myself included, where we're unaware of, like, we're so easy to pick apart the faults of other people, but sometimes we ignore the faults that we have. And like, that's called bias blind spot, and like, we all do it sometimes. But Fern's ability to ignore every single stupid thing he's ever done in his entire life and still act as if everybody else is in the wrong is staggering. It is absolutely staggering. Like, I've never seen somebody do it as thoroughly and unabashedly as Fern.
Frequently.
Yeah, dude, it's literally every single day with him, where he would do something stupid, and we'd just be like, Fern, stop it.
I think my favorite quote of Fern is, I don't know, the doctor said I had autism, but I think it kind of went away.
It kind of went away!
That's right, dude! He kept having these, like, oh my god, he would get into arguments with people because, like, a common theme amongst the chillest boys is that, like, at some point or another, we've all had a very crippling sense of depression, and, like, with varying degrees of coming in and out of it, but that was a common theme, and also not having a dad is a common theme in the chillest boys.
Oh, not having a dad is a fucking common theme.
Dude, and it's crazy. And Fern somehow decided that he was gonna break the cycle, and you wanna know how he decided he was gonna break the cycle? One day we were all like having this discussion about depression and like how we were all like a little fucked up by it at the time. And then Fern said, guys, depression, literally all you have to do is just choose to be happy. Like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Like, just stop being depressed. It's so easy. Like, yeah, dude, I get depressed sometimes, but then I just stop being depressed. Like, it's fine.
That's like choosing to be straight.
Yeah, like, for real, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh god. This guy sounds like a bit of a D-bag.
That also sounds like Vortex.
The D-est of...
The D-est of bags.
I don't know, Vortex is like...
You can
imagine if Fern sobered up and wasn't autistic anymore, that probably is
Yeah. Like, Vortex still says some stupid shit sometimes, but
Vortex is self-aware though.
Vortex
You can tell.
Yeah. He has, like,
Vortex is gonna be like, yo, Iceland's lit RN.
Yo,
he'll
your
say some stupid shit sometimes. Like, he'll say some dumb as fuck shit. Like, he's very, like, anti-LGBT sometimes because he grew up in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is like super like pro LGBT, and it really pissed him off. And so like sometimes like he adamantly refers to Narcissa as a he, and like and we're just like, oh come on, Vortex, like whatever, like who gives a shit? Just like fucking like do the thing that will make people
actually,
happy.
he super respects my relationship.
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody has been talking in my chat for the last 43 minutes, I have not seen it. I apologize.
It's like I guess
I
like
think you progressively gained viewers because we've been telling these stories.
Yeah. You hosted me, and I was like focusing on PDA side first, but thank you for the host.
but
like,
yeah,
I
so
guess
like
43 in Packless. Was that Bob Fern?
oh dude, that like literally bops. That all he had to do was complete 6 planets and he bops Fern.
That does not Bob Fern.
Wait, Fern is a better Packless time?
No, he's a no, that Bob is NG plus.
Oh, I see.
Fern
I
has,
have
35.
that. If I didn't spend 5 minutes failing Velden 2, that probably would have been welly. Actually, no, I wouldn't have got it. But whatever, it's Packless.
Yeah, like Vortex can be like kind of a dick sometimes, but at least usually he has like enough awareness to be like, yeah, you know, I'm kind of being a little bit of a dick right now, or like he'll be like, we'll be like, Vortex, that's kind of shitty to say, and he'd be like, yeah, you're right.
I love it.
So like, at least he's
I still don't know how FS10 got disappeared on the Chills Boy.
Oh, we were just,
Yeah,
I don't know, dude.
He just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in the Chillis Boys. He bridges the gap.
I think it's when we swapped from Skype to Discord, we were like, yeah, let's just not invite this guy.
Well, we had him in the Discord group for a long time, and then like,
Oh, we did? Oh yeah.
we saw that basically like he never talked to any of us, and the only group of people he would ever talk to were like the Armin, Squonk, like that whole like circle, you know. And so we were like, do we even like, should we even have him in the Chillis Boys anymore? And we were all just like, nah, let's get him out. And so that's like, I don't know, it was just like, and he never said anything about it either, so we just assumed that he was like fine with it.
But I finally fixed my Wi-Fi.
Yo, what's up, Jonah?
Well, at least you got hit.
Jonah, how's game 23 going?